Well, hello, hello. Today I'm going to be talking about my coming out story. I've always known that I was gay. Um, I think yeah, I've always known. Like when I was younger, I used to like wear my mom's high heels and put like her scarf on and stuff and spray her perfume. So yeah, I've known for a long time. But let's see. Like in elementary school, I remember I was, I told someone, I was like, oh, that guy is, he's, scrumptious looking. And immediately, this one chick was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you gay fool? And I'm just like, oh, I see how people are talking about it, so, no. But at that time I already knew. And then the next, school up, intermediate wasn't so bad. It was just like, people didn't really fuck with me in intermediate. Probably because I was getting pipes. Middle school is when I moved from one city to another. Um, People were trying me, but because of my mouth, not so much. Like, this one story that comes to mind. I sat next to this dude in science class, and he's like, you need to move your gay ass away from me. I was like, I remember I stared at him. I was like, boy, if you don't shut your little ugly ass up, I was like, how you gonna talk about me? But yet you got this motherfucking notebook, and you and this other motherfucking kid, this dude, are writing y'all's little secret messages back to each and forth to each other. And then he was just looking at me. I said, yeah, so shut your ass up, and don't try to come for me. Cause for one, I wasn't even out, and I'm just like, people that are in the closet are damn sure it's not gonna let someone try to pull their ass out, and I wasn't gonna have that. So that was middle school, and there was only a few people that tried me. High school, there was one that tried me, and it was this one motherfucker that was secure with himself, and was like he was out and all that. And I kind of envied that a little bit, but I was like, don't come for me, bitch. I was like, let me figure that out on my own. So it was just once or twice with him. He was just like, I know you're gay and this and that. And I'm just like, bitch, I ain't gay. Which I knew I was at the time. Just like, I don't want you telling everybody. After high school and all that, I was, was going to college for a little bit. Like, a little bit. And at that time, I was, hanging out with different people and all that. And then I met individual from high school, college. One individual from high school. We'll call him Homeboy. Me and Homeboy started to become best friends. And Homeboy is gay. So, he was showing me, like, different things in the gay community and all that stuff. He started taking me, like, gay clubs and all that. And I was like, oh, okay. So, I was getting into, like, the gay world. I was getting into the gay world. So I came out to, like, him and my friends and all that. That I was like, gay. And they're just like, oh, we can kind of, they're like, we know. Because I'm effeminate. So I was like, oh, well, damn. A little offended. I was like, oh, yay. But, yeah. And then, as, time progressed and all that, I remember there was this one individual that I met at the club one time. It was this dude. We're going to call him Whore. So, I meet Whore at the club. And, I'm just like, oh, yeah. So, I got his number and this and that. So, me and Whore start dating. Bad idea. Because, hence the nickname, Whore. So, me and Whore start dating. And I remember there was one night where Whore, Homeboy, and me were at my house. And my stepdad and my mom were in the room. I was like, you know, and we're downstairs, and I was like, let's not talk about, like gay stuff and all that, because my, parents don't know I'm still in the closet to my family, and all that jazz. And then they're just talking like, oh, this dick and that and all that. I'm just like, did I just say shut the fuck up? I was like, I told y'all I'm not out with my family. Yet y'all do it all like the upright most right now. So they're just like, whatever. So I remember when we were going to leave, Whore was like, oh, you should give me a kiss, like right in front of the door. And I'm just like, I don't want to. And I was like arguing like for a good whole hot second. I was like, I don't want to. And he was like, well, why not? He's like, you're going to have to come out to your family anyway, eventually. And thinking back now, I was like, thinking back now, I'm just like, that's a selfish motherfucker. Like, a really selfish motherfucker. Like, if I had the same mindset I do now, back then, I would have slapped the shit out of that motherfucker. Like, for real. Like, backhand and not thought twice about it. But because I was where I was mentally back then, I was just like, okay, whatever. Right in front, the door. And there's like that glass, whatever, that looks out. And because my stepdad was coming down to get some water, he saw that and he was just like, wow. He didn't say nothing to me at that moment because I was leaving to go somewhere. But he was like, I saw you the other night and you kissed that dude or whatever. And I was just like, oh, shit. So, yeah, he was like, you need to tell your mom. And I was just like, I don't want to tell her. I don't want to tell her shit. I was like, we could just keep this between us and act like you never saw anything. But no, he was like, you need to tell your mom. And I was just like, fucking A. So yeah, I had to tell her, and it was me. I remember the day too, because I walked in there, and I sat on the bed, and she was watching TV, and she looked all pissed off, like, what is it you have to tell me? And I was like, that I was getting at that exact moment was just like, it put me off. Like, I didn't even want to say anything, so I was quiet for a whole hot second. And then I just started crying. And then my little brother at the time, who was like a baby boy, he was crying just because I was crying. And then my mom started crying. And I was like, I'm gay. She was like, I already know. And I'm like, then why am I going through all of this? And she's like, I just wanted you to tell me. I'm just like, I'm like, if everybody already knew, then why don't you just spare me all the fucking heartache? But I guess they just wanted to hear it from the source. So yeah, that was pretty much my coming out story. Yeah, it was a lot more of internal stuff, but other than that, yeah, it was pretty good. And yeah. Oh, back to the whore though. Me and the whore, after that whole me coming out to my family, I was like, I'm good. I don't need to be with nobody right now. And well, I broke up with him because he's a whore, first and foremost. And second, when I came to my family, I just wanted to be family. And then when I broke up with his ass, that stank bitch and homeboy started to date. So yeah, that was some shit. Like, for real. So I had to let those bitches go. And yeah, it's been pretty good. I haven't, wasn't like no derogatory thing or whatever. Which I was like, because I live in Texas, so I was afraid that I was gonna have like a real crazy ass experience, because I know like a lot of people that they were kicked out and all that stuff. Because like in here, the gay community in Texas, like you have like different gay families because of stuff like that, and like people were kicked out and very like neglecting families and all that stuff like that. So I was like, I hope I don't have the similar situation to where I would have to resort to that. Because if I, I was thinking about that before. I was like, I had to come out. Had to come out. Because I'm not saying that I don't know, how do I put it? Like, I'm not saying like that it would be a bad thing, but I'm just saying like, I wouldn't want that for me. Yeah. Yeah. For the most part, it was, it's like that. Let's see. After all that mess, and the family, my mom's side of the family, all that. Like, that was when I was like 19, 18, 19. No, like, yeah, 19. So then when I was 21, my dad calls me. He's like, Bubba, I gotta ask you something. You need to be honest. Because my nickname's Bubba. He was like, are you gay? And by at that time, I was like, I really didn't give a shit if people kept asking me. And I was just like, yeah. And he was like, well, why didn't you tell me? I was like, well, I didn't think it was important to put out there like that. And he was like, well, I just wanted to let you know that I love you and this and that. And I'm like, oh, well, thank you. And then my grandma called, my dad's mom, and she's like, well, is it true, are you gay? I'm just like, yeah, it's true. And she's like, well, be careful, because, people, they're very mean and this and that. But I know how my grandma is. She's one of those people that she'll say, like, really nice things, but you have to listen really closely because she's saying it, and she's being sly. Like, she's like, you have to be real careful, because people aren't always accepting, and, I'm like, she's being nice, I understand, but I feel like she was trying to be slick at the same time. And I was being really pissed, because I remember my mood. I was very pissed off, and I didn't want to hear it no more. So, yeah. I don't know, I just felt like my dad's side of the family, they were trying to be sly, and I didn't want to hear that shit. So, and my aunt, she went to cuss motherfucker out, like, for real. So, I don't know, it's just different. I'm content with my life now. I'm happy with who I am. I've come far emotionally and mentally from what I was a few years ago. What was it? 5 years ago? I seem old, but yeah, no, like 5 years ago. So, yeah. I'm a completely different person than what I was before. Mentally. Attitude and all that, nah, I still whoop a bitch's ass. But yeah, no. I'm different. I accept myself now. So, yay me. I'm proud of that. So, yay.